Hi, this is Michael Steinbacher. I'm going to give a brief description of Sleeping Woman Mountain, just east of Las Vegas. This is Sleeping Woman right here. This is the eastern edge of Las Vegas. It bumps right up against it. Standard geology claims that many millions of years ago, the west side of the valley, which is Red Rock Canyon today, was pushed together by plates colliding, and it created the mountains of Red Rock Canyon. Uh, I'll talk about that in detail at another time. But after the compression, the area pulled apart, creating this giant valley that runs up to Red Rock Canyon, quite a few miles to the west. In the course of pulling apart, it brought these mountains 50 miles to the west because these mountains don't match up with what's underneath of them. There's Vishnu schist, granite, and then layers of sediment that have folded up supposedly in a 50-degree angle. This would be the former surface, and this is the area that lifted. This pulled up, exposing all of this, which used to be underground and 50 miles to the east. So it had to tiptoe across the desert 50 miles to the west and then fold up, but it also had to go down 4.5 miles to experience diagenesis, a squeezing and leaching into an alteration of the horizontal layers that were there originally in order to turn them into rock. So we got a 50-mile trip, 4.5 miles of burial, and then resurrection. I don't believe that's the case. I believe this is an electrical event. This is possibly the center of it. It's called Lava Butte. It's all covered with cinders, black, burnt material. These are sedimentary, dolomite, limestone. Because geologists only have a watery explanation for dolomite and limestone, they think that it had to be sediment, where if it's comet dust, which is my thesis, then comet dust has dolomite and limestone, so it could be an airborne deposition, sort of like spackling. This image is looking north. So this is the west side. It shows the layers. These are the central layers of what is the Grand Canyon. This layer up here is actually in addition to the Grand Canyon, but these are part of the Grand Canyon layers, not the very top ones, but further down. You can see they go all the way through. I don't think these folded up. The next image we're going to see is looking from down here, southeast of Lake Las Vegas, looking up at Lava Butte with these mountains in the background. So here's Lake Las Vegas. It's a man-made lake. It's got a dam right here. Here's Lava Butte, and here is what I think is the windward side, all the way over to here, of Frenchman Mountain and then Sunrise Mountain over here. It almost seems as if the winds were swirling in a clockwise manner, coming across this way, swinging around so that the north side has the windward side going towards the south, different than the west side, which has windward towards the east, as if it might have been circular in some manner. The next image you're going to see will be this area here, where windward is to the right. So it trends to the south. I'm over here shooting this, looking this way, looking at these layers. The next image will speak for itself. So again, I'm looking east. This would be the south side. You can see the trending going to the south. You can see these layers building up in the direction of the wind from my model, not horizontal strata that's being folded. This would have been a drainage. There's probably a hurricane going on. So this area is flooded, not allowing this material to accumulate here. The wind goes by and builds up these layers, the same as these layers. It's all wind from the south at this point, stacking this up. We're just around the corner to the west, the wind's coming from the east, as if this is a vortex. This is something like, it's hard to be certain about this, but it seems as if material is coming down to the center of the vortex and working out, not being pulled in the way you think of as a tornado. I believe that the polarity of this can allow for both models, either being pulled in or pushed out. It's the way Dacatron instabilities work. This is looking west. This is Frenchman Mountain. This would be the windward side. Again, I see winds swirling from the left to the right, spackling this. This is similar. This would have been underwater. As the water level receded, because this is right next to the Colorado River, or very close, this would become dry and it would start building. As the water receded some more, the next ones over would start to become dry and building, while you have drainages in between the formations preventing accumulation. So here's where the drainage would be. You don't have accumulation. Wherever it's dry, you're getting these hogbacks very quickly forming. But it's many layers of the Grand Canyon. This must have formed very quickly, or you have multiple events all from the same direction, which doesn't seem very likely. This is the windward, this is the leeward side. The wind would be coming towards us. So this area doesn't get to build up because the material sticks to windward, leaving leeward, showing you the layers of leeward here. The layers, you saw the other shot looking north where they're much more distinct. This is a road cut, and on this side of the road cut there is Vishnu schist and granite, which is the same material at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. So this is the base of the Grand Canyon. This is the Vishnu schist. It's foliated, but you can see that it started off as straight layers, probably sediment, and then folded up supposedly. But I believe the wind was coming from the left, and this is all trending back in the same direction as the rest of the mountain. It trends towards the east. All of this is the same. It's just this was the very beginning when the current density was the highest, creating schist and granite at the bottom, trending in the same direction as the rest of the sediments. And this is the beginning of the process. This is considered bedrock. I think it's just the bottom of an electrical formation that must have happened very quickly. Here's Sleeping Woman Mountain again. And this area seems to have some relationship to this area up here. This is all Dolomitic mountains that I believe trend to the west. This seems to connect to this and swing over. Up here you have Valley of Fire State Park that trends to the north. It's sedimentary, supposedly sand dunes, very much different than this. I think all of these are connected somehow. Same with over here. You have all of these formations that seem to be electrical in nature. This down here by Henderson is completely volcanic, but I don't think it's from a volcano. This looks like it's windward on this side, leeward on this side. Same here. Gold mine here. I believe it's a gold mine. Pass that quite often. So this whole area was just zapped. It seems as if a lot of events came up the Colorado River. It was a center of current density. It's also in between what I believe is a vortex just northeast of Beatty, and then a vortex over Four Corners. And this is where they all come together. And this is where there's an awful lot of electrical activity, from what I can tell. It's just getting zapped, generally fried. This is Zion Canyon, Snow Canyon. These areas were electrically excavated, I believe, just because they're in between these two vortices. So this is another way of looking at this area. Thanks for your attention.